My name is Addae Lane, and on behalf of Halftime Chat, we are here with the legendary, the amazing. You catch him on your TV screens, on your phones, Kofi B.
Wow.
How are you doing?
Thank you so much for having me. This is cool.
No, thank you. So, of course, we have an international audience, so people from here, people from England. So, please tell us, where are you from?
Yeah, I'm from Akron, Ohio, in the U.S. and born and raised right here in Akron, Ohio. Uh, I'm back here actually doing a couple press things, media things. That's why this is my home studio, but it looks a little crazy right now. We just
Awesome.
finished some stuff, so yeah, it's been an exciting time being from here, though.
That's amazing. Yeah, and I actually got to catch a glimpse of your documentary made in Akron, which is absolutely amazing. And but we're
Thank
going to get into that.
you. Okay.
So please tell us about your musical upbringings, how it started, and how it got you to where you are now.
Yeah, I mean, so growing up in Akron, Ohio, didn't really come from a musical family at all, but I just found music at a time where I really needed it the most. I was 8 years old. My mom saw this advertisement for piano lessons randomly, and at the time I was playing karate. I was doing baseball. Clearly, I had no future in MLB or MMA, but she
Mhm.
saw that piano playing was the thing for me, and well, she didn't see, but it was something I gave it a shot at. And that first piano lesson that I went to was a big group lesson. I remember I was around a bunch of little 5-year-olds, and I was 8 years old at the time.
Mhm.
And I was like, yeah, this probably ain't gonna work for me. But I did the one lesson. I thought I was never gonna do it again until the instructor came at me and talked to me, and she just held my hands for a second, looked at him, and said, "Kofi, I see something in you." And at the time, with the family situation I had growing up, it was just something I never heard before. I never heard somebody say that to me. So the rest was history. I just took her words, ran with them, and then we went from beginners books to advanced books. And you know, here we are. How many years later? 17 years later, and this is the journey I've been on.
Wow. So, was there any other instrument that you wanted to pursue at the time, or is it just when you saw the piano, you fell in love with it? This was the one you were going to stick with?
Nah, it was just piano. Piano was the one that I saw. It was just the thing that I really gravitated to. I mean, there was other instruments, of course, but that I maybe tried. I think in sixth grade I tried playing the viola.
Hmm.
I got big hands. Like it just the little viola wasn't working for me. So
Okay.
it
Stuff.
just,
Awesome.
yeah. Hmm.
Awesome. So, you talk a lot about just being young and super talented at the time. I actually thought that you were just, this is something that just naturally happened. Like one day you were just five, picked up a piano, started playing. So
Mm,
it's nice to see that, young, as being like a young man, you took it so serious and it led you to where you are now.
yeah.
So I also saw that you did dual studies at Berklee College of Music as well as Harvard. What was that
Yeah.
experience like?
Well, being at Berkeley, at least at the time when I was in Boston, they had a dual program with Harvard where you could study a lot of programs in the business and entrepreneurial category. So I took advantage of that. So my time at Berkeley was relatively short, actually. I spent a semester and a half there because I went there in 2019, and then 2020, pandemic hit. So that was pretty much the end of my Berkeley experience because pandemic hit, and then life kind of changed in 2022 for me when the social media thing started popping off. So, but it was a great experience. Like my biggest passion about being out in Boston for me was that I was around a bunch of different colleges. Like every different place had, like I was around like maybe 30 different colleges, they say, like within a 4 mile radius or something like that.
Hmm.
So I just took advantage of being in that area. So I mean, I went to Berkeley, did my thing at Berkeley, but I was at Harvard. I was taking classes there. I went to the business conferences at Harvard. I was just networking as much as I can. So my semester and a half really was like the equivalent of like a 4 to 5 year
Yeah,
experience
right,
for
right.
most people. So yeah.
Wow, you really did put in the work. I see, and it paid off. Awesome. So you are also the youngest person to be accepted into Akron's School of Music in their jazz program.
Hmm.
How did that come to be?
So when I was in eighth grade, everybody pretty much is trying to find out where that next step for them is, like
Right.
for high school and stuff. And there was a high school program here in Akron called Firestone High School, and I went to the audition. And I remember that when I was in the audition, like they would kind of tell you what was coming next, but before they told me what was coming next, I would tell them what was coming next. like I was, and then they would try to play this note for me to sing and everything, and I would just sing the note before they played it because I knew the note already. And basically, it was just a little too easy for me. And
Mhm.
I felt like going to that school for 4 years would have been maybe I just would have been kind of downplaying, I think, the potential that I had. And
Mhm.
so I just looked at options of ways that I could continue to like grow educationally within music. And my brother was attending a high school that was like a college. It was like a post-secondary high school, right? So you can do college classes and be on a college campus while you're in high school. And we explored the idea of doing the music school there, and it was something that just had never been done before. But my brother was really good at like networking and stuff, being in the business school there, and he ended up connecting me with the head music director at the time, Brian Nichols. Yeah. So and he just they gave it a shot, and that was my freshman year. Instead of going to high school, I was a freshman at the University of Akron doing jazz with all the college kids at the time.
Wow, wow, such a
Yeah.
young prodigy. And earlier in your journey, you have a documentary made about you, made in Akron.
Hmm.
What was not only like the physical sense of having something made about you, but also the spiritual sense of seeing how far you had come at such a young age?
Well, I mean, just to put some paint where it ain't with that whole documentary. The idea of that documentary was to raise money to
Mhm.
go to Berkeley College of Music.
Right, right.
So at the time, I didn't have anything except my story, and I just felt like when it was time for me to make that next step. When I got the offer to go to Berkeley, they gave me like a scholarship. It paid for half of the tuition, but I needed like 50,000 for room and board just for that 1 year. And so I was like, how do I do this? And I just remember being at the University of Akron at the time studying in a marketing class, and I just kept hearing about how all these big companies just their key to success was telling their story.
Mhm.
Coca-Cola has a story, Pepsi has a story, all these different brands have stories, McDonald's has a story. And I was like, well, what's Kofi's story? And I really just dived deep into understanding what I wanted to show people and what I wanted to tell people. I've been, talking about what I do for so long, but I had never done the diligence of putting it onto camera, putting it into film, pitching a project to a production company,
Mhm.
and putting that together. And when I finally did it and thought of the idea, man, I can't even tell you the amount of people that told me no a day. Like it's wild to even think about now. um, but one company took a chance on it, and we did that project and that film, and even to this day, even though we filmed it like 8 years ago at this point,
Right,
it's something that has truly showed people just that little capstone idea of what my life is, where
right.
I'm headed, and the story's still true to this day. I mean, I feel like I got to add more to the documentary now, but it's just been a great journey, and I'm glad I was able to showcase that in that moment in that format too.
Mhm. So
Hmm.
being that young and having a passion project at the time, and of course, when you're trying to pitch something, you will get a lot of no's. How did you push through that, knowing that you had something to bring to the public?
um I had no choice. I mean, I know that's like the easy thing to say to people,
Mhm.
but when you are literally trying to focus on it was really life or death for me, because I was like, if I don't get a chance to at least give myself a shot to go to my dream school,
Mhm.
then I don't think I'm gonna be able to do what I'm purposed to do in this world. Because I love being in my hometown, but I just did not feel like my hometown was built for what I do. Like there's not a lot of people like me that do what I do, right? I mean, we got one athlete that we all know that came from here. Other than that, where's the motivation coming from? So it was just one of them things where I just had to really just say, hey, I got to make it happen. And maybe that's just a characteristic of being from this area. When you're from Akron, Ohio, or just marginalized places like this, you don't take no for the first answer. I mean, you listen to that and you're cool with it, but you just kind of let that roll off your back. Like there's a yes somewhere. You just got to find it. And I think it's always funny because all I needed was one yes, and then "Say Yes" is one of those songs that people love when I play. So
Yes.
it's like one big story that just like
Mhm.
is
Mhm.
special to me. So yeah.
So I know I asked you about a spiritual journey with music before, but what has that relationship with music been like thus far? Regardless, outside of music just being purely, for entertainment, what has
Mhm.
been that spiritual journey with music for you?
Um, it's a feeling. I mean, music has been a saving grace for me in so many places. I mean, growing up, I had a choice between, again, taking education seriously, doing music, or joining this gang that they had growing up, where they started the initiations of it in third grade. So, and I know a lot of kids, a lot of peers that chose to go that route, and they chose to, do the illegal activity. And I don't see them now because you can't see them unless you call in and go to their jail to figure out where they at. That's like that was the destination that I could have went down. Um, so music in a lot of ways to me was just one of them things that just kept me out the street. I mean, it kept me out of trouble because it was easy to find trouble. You can easily find it if you're looking for it. But I'm just grateful that it worked out for me. I mean, this is it's not a normal thing. I mean, I the work is normal. The work ethic is something that you can have, but the journey to get here is you got to have a little bit of luck. You got to have a lot of preparation, and just have a little bit of opportunity, and then that leads to the I guess the success story that people see.
Right, right. So you have a great balance of not only playing an instrument, entertaining, but as well as education. And in 2014, you got President Obama's and the White House President's Educators Award.
Hmm.
How did that come to be, and what was that feeling like for you?
Yeah, I mean, well, my mom always preached education growing up,
Hmm.
uh, and it was just one of those things that just happened. I don't really know. I didn't meet President Obama at the time or anything like that, but you qualify for the award. I got the award. Sent a letter. He signed the letter. It was cool. I mean, it was a cool moment. I don't want to downplay it, but it really wasn't something that for me. I was like, I didn't meet him, so my whole thing was like, if I would have met him, this would be a whole different conversation. But
Yeah,
it was a cool moment though, for sure. And I think it motivated me, especially going into my high school years, to just keep pushing, keep doing
right,
what I was doing.
right.
Hmm.
So I do want to get into the Apollo.
Okay.
How did Was there an audition process? Did you get scouted to come? How did you first enter the Apollo?
So the Apollo happened when did this happen? Okay, so 2019, I
Hmm.
was doing a lot of different auditions for stuff. No, 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 wait, was this 2018? 2018. Fall of 2018, I was just sending in a bunch of submissions for stuff. And in particular, I was filming a lot of videos to go to Berklee College of Music. And um, instead of me just using those videos for submissions to Berklee, I was like, let me just submit stuff to random talent shows like America's Got Talent,
Hmm.
uh, Amateur Night at the Apollo, so on, different types of things, even other talent competitions and stuff. And so I was just chilling. I was randomly in New York at the time, and I was doing an audition, and I was staying in Manhattan, and it kind of just was like, well, dang, I'm right near the Apollo. I wonder if I can audition. And then I saw that I just looked online and they had online submissions. I submitted it, and I did that, called it a day, didn't even think about it. And a couple months later came, and I got a random email where it said, congratulations, and you got chosen to be on Amateur Night. And I didn't believe it. I thought it was a spam email at one point. I remember I posted a video about it a while back where I was reacting to it. I had my webcam on and everything on my old laptop, and I was just shocked. But I knew that moment, if I was gifted that opportunity, could open some doors. And I didn't know what it was going to do. I didn't know how it could happen, but I was just excited for it. And the rest is history. I mean, so I went to Amateur Night in February. I believe it was February 26th. That was my first time. 2019 was my first time doing Amateur Night. Won that first round. I think I won the second round. Maybe got second place or something in the third round. And then in the final round, I ended up losing to the grand finale winner at that time. But then came back in 2022, and they came back after the pandemic. I asked the producers if I could come back, and the rest is history, man. Won the whole thing. Got the grand finale prize, won the 20,000, and it was a game changer for me. It was one of those moments where, I mean, the Apollo is one of those places. If you're an artist,
Mm-hmm.
like you gotta try it. You gotta see if it works for you, because that audience is so real. Like
Yes.
they will literally tell you if you suck in your face, and you got to be ready for that. So,
Yes.
um, it was a super cool feeling to be able to do that and to win, and then to come back and even host it. I was the
Mhm.
first person to ever do that. Um, it was just so dope. Like first person to ever win the competition and then come back and host it. Like it's still crazy to think about.
No, that's right. Amazing, amazing.
Yeah.
So, and it's such a legendary place from,
Hmm.
80s to even now. So, I know you came back to host it. Were there any people that you got to speak to that you had looked up growing up to?
Um, when I was there hosting, or
Yeah, when you got to host it.
nah, well, what's crazy is like people don't know this. I'm glad you're asking this. So when I got the call to come back to be the host,
Mhm.
yeah, I got the call at the last minute.
Oh.
So I was doing a speaking engagement for a college the week before. I got a call from the producer. I missed the call. I ended up, texting him back. He said, "Hey, I want to know if you're available next Wednesday." And I knew that this was the season opener for the Apollo, but I thought he just needed me to maybe show up and maybe play or something. And I just texted him back. I said, "Yeah, I'm available. What's going on?" He said, "Okay, great. I need you to host amateur night." And I was like, "Huh? What you mean host? Like the whole thing?" He's like, "Yeah, man, I need you to do it." And now previously I had done the holiday show that they have. There's like a holiday special, and I did that maybe in that December, the year before.
Mhm.
But to come in and to host that whole thing, they send you a whole script and everything. And I'm like, oh, okay, I mean, luckily I've seen the show enough. I knew the flow of the show, and I knew he trusted me. But I went in that day before on that Tuesday for the dress rehearsal with the entire, cast and crew of the show. And they're like, "You ready, Kofi?" And I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, I got the 3 pages for the script." And they said, "3? No, we sent you 20. And I was like, "Well, where the other 17 at, bro?" Like, so lie to you not, I had to learn about 17 other pages the day before of that show. And I had to just, I mean, they give you cue cards, but again, you gotta know what you're talking about. Even me as the host would get booed from the crowd if I wasn't good.
Mhm.
So I just locked in. I knew it was an opportunity, and I got through it. I'll tell you that.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow. 70 pages. First one to win and then come and do amateur. Wow.
with less than a week's notice too.
Wow. Literally. Wow.
I love them though. They're love. Shout out to those producers. I love them.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
please talk about your soulful tour.
Hmm.
Touring different cities, what cities next, and what gave you the idea to tour again? Because I believe haven't you went on tour before?
Yeah, we did the
Yeah.
actually that's back there, the Just Play It tour. That was like, so okay, so the Just Play It tour was the first thing I did because I was going viral on social media back in 2022 for the first time. And I was just thinking, okay, this is something I need to capitalize on. I had a following that was growing rapidly,
Mhm.
and I was just big on trying to hit the cities that were supporting me the most. This new Soulful tour, it was just this was one of those things that happened because I just recently got a new management team. We've just been strategizing on ways to, kind of just grow and continue to build what I'm doing. I feel like they understand what my vision is and how I want to grow things. And, it's one of those things where you can't wait for other people to give you an opportunity. You just got to make it yourself.
Right.
And that's what this tour is. So, I mean, there's been a lot of these cities were cities that I should have been hit years ago, but like promoters have doubted me for so long, didn't think I could go to Chicago or come to a Nashville.
Hmm.
And this is my time to prove them wrong and prove myself right. I have a show. I have a great group of guys. We put on a really good show right now, and people just, I think people should really be excited for the shows that are coming up. And
Right.
then this format that we're doing it is really special to me because I'm really getting a chance to understand my audience more. When you're doing social media stuff, I mean, as you know, but like it's like you don't sometimes you don't know who's watching. until you see them in person.
Mhm.
You know, my OGs always say like high tech will never beat high touch. Like so,
Mhm.
when you have an ability to see who's rocking with you and who's supporting you and who are you impacting, I think that for me personally, it makes the content that I create, the stories that I tell, and the music that I make so much more fulfilling. So this is really like one big research and development tour for me. Like
Right,
I get
right.
a chance to see everybody. And now after this, after I do a couple more of these shows and we keep adding on, that's when we drop the original music. That's when we drop the albums. That's when we drop the new concepts and really just build out this journey to be bigger than just that. Oh, he went viral from a Say Yes video.
Right, right.
So yeah.
I think one of the things that stuck out to me once I like got into doing research and just looking more into who is he outside of just a musician. And
Hmm.
you're not the average piano player. You're not just sitting there, playing these melodies. You're up, you're moving around, you have energy.
Oh
It's
yeah.
like posting at the same time.
Oh yeah.
How did that act just come to be?
We get down. Yeah, I'm glad you said that. Nah, it's a mixture of things, and I get a lot of comparisons to like Brian Culbertson, Robert Glasper, and a lot of those guys people don't even know. They don't know that I grew up as with Brian Culbertson. I've known him for over a decade. They just sometimes people just comment stuff on social media and they don't know nothing, but it's okay. I love them, but
Right.
when it comes to how I've developed my artistry, it's a mixture of things. I mean, I grew up doing this stuff. Before I was even playing piano, I was a dancer. Like I was doing ballet, jazz, tap, you name it, I did it.
Right.
Um, Before I was playing piano, I was a public speaker. I was 8 years old and I did my first sermon at church for our youth Sunday. And it was my mom at the time, she wrote the speech, but I recited it. I did the whole thing. And I wanted to do that. And when I was younger, I was doing speeches in my room and forced my family members to come in and listen to me for what I thought was just 30 minutes, but apparently it was like 3 or 4 hours. But they sat there and listened. That's on them, you know. So like, but I've been doing this. So like when the music aspect came into it, it was just like another avenue to just do my thing. Like I feel what I do naturally. That's not an act. I love what I do. That's not an act.
Hmm.
So everything just feels natural.
Right.
Like when I see people just being inspired by what I'm doing, whether I'm playing or speaking, that's what matters to me at the end of the day. So I mean, it's been cool to see that all happen though. So yeah, I think that's where the act or the talent or the show or whatever you're talking about, it comes from.
Yeah. Okay.
Just life experiences.
And I did want to ask you about you speaking because I've seen your speeches and you speak so eloquently. So, how important is it for you to visit these schools and the younger generation so that they, have a strong foundation for when they, you
Yeah.
know,
It's I think it's the biggest thing I could do outside of what everybody sees right now. Honestly, I care more about that than I do about like these shows right now. My heart has always been in the mindset of empowering the next Kofi, the next Addae, whatever the case may be, because it's like I remember being, and I'm assuming you're not too far from my age, but like I remember when I was in middle school, they would always have guest speakers come in and stuff, and I just remember that the guest speaker that come in were always some old person that been there, did that back in my day. I did da 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 da, and I just remember saying like, where is the like young adult? Like, where's the person in their 30s at least? So when I was growing up, or at least when I was starting to really grow in what I was doing in my early like teen years, I was like, if I can make it to a certain point where people think what I'm doing is cool or whatever, I'm just gonna always make sure I show face and always make sure that I can give back. And I was gonna do that starting with my hometown middle school that I went to school at, and it started there. And now that I'm growing what I'm doing, I started this youth program called Beyond the Keys, where what we do is we go beyond the keys. I mean, I go and I do these fireside chats, sit down conversations. Sometimes they're moderated by students that are there, or it's like youth, or a conversation that I'll have with like the teachers and staff members. Like I'll talk to superintendents from different places and districts, educators. They'll come to these educational conferences. The whole idea is I just want to be able to tell my story and hope that somebody finds light in it. And it's just been really fun. I mean, I love performing, but it's something about seeing people's lives change, and they're like, you can watch their faces and be like inspired by the words that you're saying. Some people are crying, coming at me at the end of like a speaking engagement, like they heard me play or something. So yeah, I'm just happy, and now I'm glad you mentioned it, because we're actually I'm doing a fundraiser in October where we're going to be adding a scholarship component to this. So we're going to be giving away some high school scholarships to some seniors and stuff. So
Mhm.
we're growing this thing. It's going to be exciting in the next couple months.
Yes, it's always good that you have in your heart to give back, as like how other people have poured into you yourself. So, Kofi, you're amazing. You're amazing.
I appreciate it. You're amazing. No, can I talk about you for a second? Because this is great. Thank you for having me. But I'm only here because I have such a respect for what you do. Like when I see individuals like yourself, which is very rare, the fact that you're able to give flowers to people while they can still see them, the 90s, 80s, whatever the case may be, and that type of music before we was even born, that you love and stuff. You know what I mean? I saw you were you at the Janet concert?
Yes, I was.
You were screaming crazy. I saw that. So I'm just
Love her.
I love seeing that through you, and I love what you do. It's inspiring to me as an artist or as a musician, because my whole thing is I give flowers back. Same thing I did with Marsha and Montel Jordan, and who you name it, whoever it is. I love to see that through the music enthusiast side. At least is that's what I see through you, and so it's dope. It's dope. You're awesome. You're amazing.
Thank you. So are you. And that was my next question, actually. I've seen you perform with people that we've grown up looking up to, like Montel Williams, the Rude Boys, Marsha. How important is it for you to continue to give artists their flowers as you continue to journey and grow in your career?
I have to. I mean, not. I mean that is literally the reason why I'm where I'm at right now.
Mhm.
Um, if it wasn't for Marsha, we wouldn't be talking right now. Real talk. Like we just wouldn't. So it's because of a Marsha Ambrosius. It's because of Natalie Stewart. It's because of Andre Harris. It's because of a Montel Jordan, Jay Moss, even Dave Hollister, which I guess I just dropped that out. We're supposed to be doing something soon, but like, or even Ohio players back home, my OGs that I grew up idolizing before I was even born. They were making hits. So I owe it to them. And I think people in our generation need to see what, quote unquote, I hate when people say this, but I understand it, real music sounds like.
Mhm.
Because, sometimes we do get caught in this idea that, I mean, I was one of them. I thought that Say Yes by Floetry was originally could have been by her. I don't know if you ever heard her's version. I didn't know it was a sample of Say Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that either.
Oh yeah, the whole not could have been. I'm not could have been. I'm gonna wait for it. Wait for it.
I don't think I've heard that.
But
Okay.
basically, wait for it is her. It's Say Yes by Floetry, the beat of it, but they put it in a different key. And I thought that when I heard that, I thought that was like so original.
Hmm.
But it was really just Say Yes, just in a different key. But I would have never known that had I not, kind of dug into it. And so I just want to show the younger generation what the older generation has done. I want to do it in a cool way. And, being able to partner up with these guys, I'm just glad that they're able to, give me a yes. I mean, because that's like,
Right.
and that's a whole other conversation. But just like the idea of me being able to do shows or working with these guys like, Charlie Wilson. And I mean, it's been crazy just to think about the journey. But, that stuff, there's so much red tape. There are gatekeepers in the world of entertainment that they want to have their hand on something. And if they don't have their hand on something, they feel a way about it. So we're moving into this realm of independency when it comes to being an artist and being a creative. And if you have a platform and you can do what you do at a very consistent level, You don't need a label all the time. You don't need a big company behind you. And big companies might not like that, but they might want to partner with you. So that's a whole other conversation for another day.
Mhm.
So it's just cool. I think I'm talking too much right now, but
Oh no.
you get my point.
Yeah, and speaking of giving artists their flowers, you got to give the queen her flowers, while and her pianist while being in her film. I Want to Dance with Somebody.
Oh, Whitney, yeah.
Please talk about that experience for you.
Oh my goodness. So that was a crazy call. So I was in Boston at the time because and I saw that one of my followers had sent me this link and it said, pianist wanted for a movie. And I said, okay. So at the time, a little backstory, when I was at Berkeley, I met this kid named Darius Simmons. And Darius is a pianist who has 4 fingers total and 2 prosthetic legs, just to put into context how amazing this kid is. And Darius had introduced me to one of his I want to say mentors that helped get him to even go to Berkeley. I met her name is Kathy, and Kathy and I kind of developed a relationship, and she had introduced me to a man whose wife was in charge of a casting company, because at the time I was looking for ways to raise money to stay at Berkeley and make money during the pandemic. So after I had met this guy, his wife put me in this portal for a casting company, and it opened up the door to do a lot of other things before this Whitney movie happened. What happened was I was an extra in the Julia Child's film. Like you will never see me in that film. I was probably the only black person behind the scenes, which that's another story. But I was also I was a role in this Fanatics commercial. And so I did this like sports commercial where I was putting on this little hat and I was, cheering and running around and stuff for this commercial. And at the time I met a lot of the people that were in charge with the casting company. What ended up happening was, like, I think maybe a year later or maybe a couple months later, I do the Apollo, or one of my Apollo videos is going viral. I ended up submitting that Apollo video as my audition tape for this pianist wanted for a movie role.
Right.
And then I get a call from the actual casting company directors that was at the commercial that I shot. And they said, Kofi, are you sitting down for this? And I was like, no, I was at church. I think we had a choir rehearsal or whatever. And I said, no, I'm standing up, but tell me what's going on. Like, and she said, oh, they want you for the Whitney movie. They saw the video of you going, at the Apollo, and they already saw and they want you. So the video had already done its thing, going viral and everything. And they had seen it. And then I submitted it. So that was like, the extra reinforcement that they needed. They didn't know that I was local in that area. And the rest is history. Literally, it was kind of like a last minute call because they said, we're filming this weekend. And I think at the time it was a Thursday. And I was like, okay. Now, I ain't gonna lie. At first, I said no because I thought they wanted me as an extra in the movie. And I was like, I just did this Julia Child's joint. I know what it feels like to be in a little holding cell for 12 hours and get $2.16.
Yes.
I'm not doing that no more. They're like, no, Kofi, you're a principal. Like, you're gonna have a trailer. You're gonna have this. You're gonna have that. And then I was like, well, how much is that paying? And then they told me how much. And I was like, well, why are we still talking? I'm gonna be there. I'll be there right now. So we filmed that, and it was a amazing time, amazing shoot. Working with Naomi, she was awesome. I think she did a great job playing Whitney. Like, you really would have thought. Granted, I've never met Whitney Houston in my life, but she looked just like her, acted kind of like her when I was around her. And to be able to work with Ricky Minor, a dude that I've looked up to as a musical director. And then we only met on Zoom at that time, but then last year we did the Kennedy Center honors together. I just met him, and we were talking for a while about the movie. So and then everybody that was involved was pretty cool, man. It was a fun time.
Wow, that's amazing. So growing up, were there other pianists that you had looked up to? And you kind of remind me of
John Baptiste.
Little Richie.
What?
Yes, like with all the just how amusing you are on stage. Like you just pull us in. You have so much
You
energy.
say Little Richard?
Yes, right? I didn't know
All
about
right,
that.
Addae.
You don't see it?
I
That's
understand where you're coming from.
okay, good.
I'm gonna let no. This is fine. That's how you feel. That's okay.
Okay. So as we end, we always love to ask, who are your? Let me see if I can make this a little tough. We're top five musical top five singers actually, like your Mount Rushmore.
Oh my God. Singers. Why would you do this to me? Singers?
Singers.
Female, you said?
It doesn't matter.
Oh, it doesn't matter? Okay. All right. Okay. So I'm gonna say this. I don't have an order, but
Okay.
it's top. We said Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, like your Mount Rushmore.
That's
Four.
four, ain't it?
Four.
I can give you four. Because five would be tough for me. I'm gonna say J Moss. I'm gonna put Michael up there for sure. Michael Jackson. Now I gotta think about our women. Whitney Houston. Oh my God, I'm sorry. Forgive me. Whitney Houston. And the last one. Okay. Oh my God. The last one. I want to say Aretha, but I don't want to say Aretha.
That's okay.
But I'm gonna say Aretha right now.
Okay.
I feel like that's fair, but I feel like I left somebody out that I actually do love, and I feel bad about that.
Don't feel bad. It's okay. Now we need your Mount Rushmore of musicians.
What is going on right now? I thought we were doing good, and now. Okay, all right. So musicians like total, right? Like
Total.
whatever you play don't matter what you play.
Don't matter.
Oh my gosh. All right. I gotta say Corey Henry. I gotta put him up there.
Mm-hmm.
Cannonball Adderley on saxophone. Man. Okay. Oh, this is so embarrassing. I should know this. Oscar Peterson, Art Tatum. That's four. But should I give five? I guess I can give five. Actually, I just got four. That's good. I'm sorry. That was
no, you actually do remind me of John Baptiste. Like now I'm like looking. Yes.
For my looks, you're saying?
Looking and playing.
I don't know what to tell you, but if that's like, where are you from?
I'm from Nashville, Tennessee.
Are you from Nashville for real?
Yeah.
So that's why you're okay. All right.
I'm from Nashville. Yeah.
That's crazy. I didn't know you was from Nashville.
Yeah. Born and raised. Yes.
Yeah, y'all got some great musicians out there, man.
Thank you.
Now, do you play an instrument?
No.
Do you sing?
No.
Oh, okay.
I just love music so much. Yes.
Nothing wrong with that. Cool.
Yes, but thank you, Kofi. We at Halftime Chat have enjoyed you and your legacy, and we hope and wish you all the best. And we will see you at your Nashville show.
I'll see you. Thanks for having me.
Yes, no, thank you. Thank you. Have a nice day.
You too.
You too. Bye.